Hello and thank you for joining us on TVC's World Now. We'll begin in West Africa, where the Economic Community of West African States says it would relocate former Sierra Leone President Ernest Koroma to Nigeria. And this was contained in a statement signed by the Ecowas Commission President Omar Toure on Tuesday and made available to journalists on Wednesday. According to Mr. Toure, the relocation was part of the agreement reached by the mission to Freetown on December 23, 2023 at the high level of ECOWAS delegation led by President of the Republic of Ghana, President Nana Akufo-Addo, and President of the Republic of Senegal, Macky Sall. The statement also disclosed that the former president has accepted the offer to be hosted in Nigeria, and subject to approval, arrangements will be made to fly former President Koroma out of Freetown today. While the temporary accommodation was arranged as part of an agreement to drop all charges against Mr. Koroma, whom the Sierra Leone government accused of treason, and 4 other offenses in a high court on Wednesday. The charges come amid heightened tensions following the attempted coup and a disputed June 2023 election where President Julius Maada Bio secured a second term. The election's outcome faced rejection by the main opposition candidate and skepticism from international partners. He was released on bail but placed on house arrest at his residence in Freetown while the matter was adjourned till the 17th of January. The government says it was willing to drop all the charges if Mr. Koroma vacated the country tentatively. Joining me now for more on this is TVC's Foreign Affairs correspondent, Moyo Thomas. Moyo Thomas, we understand that the former Sierra Leone president is expected in Nigeria. What are you hearing about his proposed asylum here?
Okay, so at the moment, we all just saw the letter from the Ecowas Commission requesting for him to be brought to Nigeria for asylum on a temporary basis. But the letter also indicated a confirmation from the government of Sierra Leone if they want that or what the time they would want that to happen. And so far, Sierra Leone government has not responded on when they would actually allow him, because just as the report you took earlier said, he is expected back in court on the 17th of January. So at the moment, we're not sure if the Sierra Leone government is actually going to approve his repatriation to Nigeria or not. But we also know that from the letter ECOWAS sent, Sierra Leone government is not disposed to that letter, and they have used the word they're not. They don't have a countenance. They will not countenance the letter. That's the word they used, and that means that they would not actually give it. They are not ready to honor the letter. So we don't know at the moment what is happening. But what I can also confirm to you from a few people that I called in Sierra Leone, some of the journalist colleagues that I called in Sierra Leone, what they're saying is they actually wish that ECOWAS Commission can actually do what is proposing, because they don't want a situation where what the government is planning to do will pull through, given the fact that a lot of Sierra Leoneans love this man and they know it could cause division in Sierra Leone. And Sierra Leone, at the moment, we all know that they are yet to recover from the war they went through between 1991 and 2002. So it is not a good time for Sierra Leone to be going through a situation that could cause an outbreak of political turmoil in their country.
Yeah, I recall there was a failed coup attempt in November, killing about 20 people, an attack on a prison and military barracks. But ECOWAS is saying this idea to temporarily relocate former President Koroma was based on an agreement reached in a mission it had in Freetown last year in November. But December rather. There are signs, like you mentioned, that the Sierra Leone government did not support this proposal. According to the country's foreign minister, it's a unilateral proposition by the ECOWAS Commission president. Is there clarity on how that decision was made? Is it standard protocol that ECOWAS can make that decision independent of the host nation?
Maybe there is a form of, I don't want to preempt what was discussed in the meeting, given that we don't have a recording of whatever was discussed. But then I would think that there would have been a miscommunication in that process, given what Ecowas brought out, that this action of bringing former President Ernest Bai Koroma to Abuja was out of the discussion they had in December of 2023. And then the government of Sierra Leone, on the other hand, is saying that that is more like a wishful thinking of ECOWAS, because they never had a discussion such as that. I would think that that is a kind of miscommunication between them, and there would be need for the leadership of ECOWAS at this point, probably the authority which is the highest rank in the ECOWAS hierarchy, to wade in and reach a conclusion. Sierra Leone is a fragile country at the moment and cannot afford to go into any disturbance or political crisis.
It sounds like the former president isn't expected to touch down in Nigeria as proposed in this ECOWAS letter. But what's the preparation back here? Has the federal government made any statement as to expecting to receive him?
As at this moment, there is no statement. Also, before we came on air, I also tried to make some inquiries into the situation to know what was happening from the ECOWAS end. But then I didn't get any successful information, any good information that I can actually share at this time. But definitely, it's a developing story, and we'll definitely keep tab on it and see what is happening from the ECOWAS end, because the plan is to move him today, if the government of Sierra Leone agrees. But then from what we are also seeing from the government of Sierra Leone, it's not likely that they are agreeing to his movement. So at the moment, we don't know what is happening as per that, but then we're keeping tab on the developing story.
Well, former President Koroma has been under house arrest since being questioned over the failed coup attempt last year, though he's denied any involvement in that particular attack in Sierra Leone that killed about 20 people. We'll get back to you, Moyo, when you have more updates. Moyo Thomas, Foreign Affairs correspondent, live for us in Abuja.